Hey everyone, Carlos over at bearbulltraders.com. Here's today's recap. We had a very choppy open at the market, so a lot of the stocks we had on our watch list were bouncing all over the place, and MU was one of them. So MU was my worst trade today, and the reason I say that is because I got in expecting this to be an engulfing pattern, but I really jumped the curve here. I mean, this is not a complete engulfing pattern. It's not a clean entry neither, especially on the 5-minute chart. I mean, this candle is more of an indecision candle, you know, based on the wicks than an actual selling off candle. So I'm not proud of this entry. And then I compiled it with not sticking to my stop loss. I should have stopped out at least at this moving average, worst case at this one here, after it clearly, you know, was showing me that this is not going in my direction. So I kind of let it get away from me past the VWAP, and then here I finally said, okay, you know what, I got to get out of here. So not happy about that. It's kind of embarrassing that I held it this long, knowing that, you know, part of staying alive in this game is getting stopped out immediately. You know, that's one of my things that I try to practice on every day. So and again, it's a trade that I should have not been in to begin with. I mean, this is not a clear indication of any kind of, you know, either selling or going long, you know. So this is not clean. I should have waited for a better indication like this one here, you know, when it broke the VWAP and it started to drop lower. This would have been a better trade. So again, just a trade that was not a good entry, not a good strategy, and on top of that, I added on by making it worse of not stopping out immediately. So that was why I consider that one of my worst trades this morning. And then for my best trade, I would say was HRT. Actually, the second trade on HRT, because the first one was also not a good trade. So on the first trade, I jumped in here expecting this pop to happen, and I was just not fast enough to make to capitalize on this move here. I mean, this is a 40 cents move. Now I did go very light on this stock because it is a 5 cents stock, and I typically don't do well in these and try to avoid them. But there was really nothing else happening in the market. It was so choppy. So I kind of saw this bull flag forming on the VWAP. I went long, and then it popped up what I was expecting to happen, because the ask was very bullish. There was a lot of ask, heavy ask on the price action. So it looked like it was definitely wanted to pop. It didn't quite do that. I got stuck in this wash over here. This happened so fast below the VWAP. But at the same time, while this was moving down, you know, I had very low shares, so I give it a lot of room to move. The ask was very bullish. So and it did just that. It went over the VWAP, and then I got out, you know, for profits once it got close to this level. I still had it on my watch list. It sold off, and when it got to this level again, you start to see these big asks coming back again. So I'm like, okay, if I really believe that this was the reason why this went up, you know, this is telling me to get in. I mean, this is what I want to do. I want to be able to catch these signals and take advantage of them. So I went in long again, and it did just that. It started popping right back up. This time I went a little heavier, took some profits right above the VWAP, and then it lost steam. But at this point, I'm like, you know what, let me leave the rest just to see if we can pop any higher. And it did just that. It kept going up. But at this point, I start to get impatient. So I don't take any trades after 11:30. So I was just in this trade already. So I was just managing it. But at this point, I start getting impatient. So I took some out here, and then took the rest out at this moving average. And even at this point, it was still not giving me a signal for me to get out. But I just didn't want to hold any longer. I don't want to make bad decisions, or, you know, have this come back down on me. So I just took the profits all out here, because this was a long move. This was all the way from 10:35 to 12. I want to be done by 11:30, but since I had nothing else to do and the stock was not giving me any kind of big pullback for me to get out, you know, I held it this long. So I guess this was my best trade, because I was able to see that huge ask. And lately, like Andrew says, when you see a huge ask, it tends to be a bullish sign, and it was. I mean, this was very bullish. It popped up immediately, and it just kept going up from there. So that's it, guys. Not a bad day for the kind of day that it was in the market. 405 in gains, but it was very choppy this morning. I also got stopped out on GE as well. In fact, we got some time. We can go over that. Let me pull that up. So here's GE. I went in long a bit heavy right at the open for the opening range breakup. But I didn't give it enough room. I should have known that, you know, this stock, it doesn't move that much. So I was playing the charts, not the price. So when I saw this drop here, to me, that was like, okay, it's time for me to get out. But this really was not a big move price wise. So I should have held it through this, you know, through this pullback, and my stop loss should have been at a more reasonable area, like around here or below the VWAP. So I kind of got stopped out a little early. Right after I got out, the stock just started moving back up. So again, I'm not mad I missed this move here. It just happened that I didn't realize the price. I was playing the charts, which is kind of what you should do. You want to play the chart and not look at the P&L or the price. You want to focus on, you know, your technicals. But with GE, it's a little different. GE doesn't move the way other stocks do. When the volume came in here, I was expecting this thing to just, you know, pop up. And it just did this pullback first, and I just got stopped out way too early. So again, not mad at this trade. That did cost 180. But the 163 is the one that's really gets to me, because there was no clear strategy there for me to trade. So, all right, guys, let's see what the market brings for us tomorrow, and thanks for watching.